Cathrein Njeri Karuki is a mother of 6. She doesn't look it. I mean, I don't know if someone looks like they're a mother of 6, but you definitely look like you've been drinking the fountain from the fountain of youth all your life.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to finally have you on the very first show.
Thank you, and I'm happy to be here. I hope I don't disappoint.
No, absolutely not. First of all, I've been stalking you on social media. Your outfits. Where do you get all your pieces from?
I try everywhere when I travel around. Everywhere. I don't have a specific show up. You know, when I see something nice, hey,
you buy it.
You know,
well,
as fashionistas,
I guess
you know.
You've got the eye because you're killing it on your social media.
Thank you very much.
Now on Instagram, she's actually known as @fashionable_stepmom, and the part about that we want to dive into is the stepmom bit,
Yes.
because I'm sure it must have been a journey, you know, with its ups and downs.
Yes.
How did you and your husband meet?
So I met my husband through a friend. We had gone out for a few drinks, and then my friend knew him, so introduced me to him, and then I didn't think much of it, and then he gave me his number, which I lost. I didn't save it on my phone, so he called me for a month, and I didn't know it was him. So eventually sent a text. I was like, "Hi, it's the guy you met a month ago," and I was like, "Oh, wow!" So I gave him a date. And the rest is history. 10 years later, here we are.
Resilience.
Yes.
That's the thing. So 10 years. You've been married for 10 years?
Yes. We met 10 years. I've been married for 6. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Married for 6 years,
Yes,
but
yes.
relationship has been going
For
strong
10 years.
For 10.
Yes.
And at the time, how many children did he have, and was he open about that?
Oh, yes. He told me on the first or second date, he had 4 children.
Yeah.
And 3 children were from his 10-year marriage, and then 1 before he got married.
Okay.
And crazily enough, I said, it's okay. It's yes.
Wow. And did you have any clue what that meant?
I had no idea. I was 22 and young, and everything was possible.
I like that. Hey, youth. There's something about the excitement of life, and every challenge looks like it's you can
and I was like, how hard is it going to be? You know what?
Okay.
I'll be nice to them. They'll like me, and we live happily ever after.
Okay. And how did your family take it, or his family?
Oh, my family. My mom went crazy. And was like, no. Say it again. How many children? No.
Yeah.
Why? Then I said, you know what, Mom, just relax. So my mom had a date with him when I wasn't there, and
oh gosh,
it wasn't funny.
Oh.
But yeah, my mom was like, I don't support it, but hey.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously he won her over, because look at you now.
Over time.
Yeah.
Over time.
I guess that's another secret sauce. Time.
Yes.
And with anything, it really is about just one step at a time, one day at a time.
Exactly, and being patient.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I now want to get into how it was with the children at the beginning. How was that relationship?
In the beginning, when we were dating, so we'd just meet like casually. We'd have dinner, we'd have lunch, and I was just daddy's friend.
Okay.
And then eventually they figured it out.
Okay.
Which wasn't very smart on our side.
You guys were just going to run with Tad's friends
exactly.
for a while.
We don't know till when.
Yeah.
And then eventually they figured out, like, oh my God, she's not going. She's here to stay.
Yeah.
And that's when it was like all hell broke loose. You know,
Okay.
They're like, obviously think about it. You wake up one morning and mom is not there, and here is someone who looks like is going to take over being mommy. Hey, we don't want you. So obviously there's resistance at the beginning.
Yeah.
And so you have to understand that it's nothing personal. Okay, put yourself in their shoes. This is what we knew for 10 years, and then this. So their resistance is, we don't want change. Everyone wants their mommy and daddy. You know, we want it to work. So, and I took it day by day.
Yeah.
Slowly by slowly, I won their trust. We had our wedding. They were there because they have to see the process. They have to see the dating process. They have to see you getting married. It has to sink into them. This is happening. We went for counseling. All of us went for counseling sessions separately and then together.
Yeah.
And slowly by slowly, we got there. 10 years later,
10 years later, they now have a bonus mom.
Yes, it works.
Yeah. You know, I was going through your blog. I was stalking you. And something jumped out to me, and I really want you to share that story. And it is the scissors incident.
Oh.
Was that real?
It's real.
Okay, tell us. Okay, go for it. You guys, you're going to love this. Or, yeah, okay, go for
So
it.
this is like after now they'd figured out our secret, yeah?
Yeah.
And so now it's not Auntie-Kathy anymore, man. It's Kathy, because we don't want Kathy now. So what they did, you know, they'll gang up as a team, because now it's mission, we want you out.
Yeah.
Yeah. we need to get rid of you.
Oh gosh.
Okay, we need our norm. We don't want this change. So what happened, the dad was sick in hospital, so I was taking them to visit the dad. So I thought, let me take them for lunch before the visiting hour. So I took them for lunch, and then we visited the dad, and on the way home, I just got a brand new Subaru. You can't imagine, during my time, Subarus were the thing. So they had scissors with them, which I think they hid them. So they were cutting the car seats as I was driving. So I didn't realize that. So when I dropped them home and everything, and I got to my house and was removing stuff from the boot, I'm like,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was so mad.
Shredded.
Yes. I called the dad at the hospital. He was sick, but I didn't want to do. I was like, you know what, I'm done with you and your children. It's over.
That must have been difficult. But again,
difficult.
I think what I love even about you is that it's quite clear that you knew from the onset that it's a process.
It's a process, and it's nothing personal. They don't dislike you as a person, as Kathy. No, it's just the thought of having a stepmom. There's a stereotype around it. Since we were small, the storybooks, everything we read, it's not like it came from nowhere.
Yeah.
Someone somewhere did something.
Right. Yeah.
So for us, it's to rewrite the story. And every child is scared. From the stories I've had, what if she comes and mistreats us? What if she comes and she's not nice to us? At the end of the day, we are just used to us and dad. There's this third person coming to take a part of our dad, you know. So it's scary. Don't forget, already divorce or separation brings a lot of insecurity. Yeah. So they're already insecure. It's their space. They're trying to protect the little they still have. Yeah. So.
And how was the process of finding your foot with their mother or their mothers? Because obviously that's something that you're not just coming in as the wife, but now you've got to almost co-mother.
Yes.
How did you manage that?
So from the beginning, when you come in, you have to assure the children that I'm not coming to replace your mother.
Right.
Okay. I'm just your stepmom. Okay. So your mother is there. She has her place, and we'll co-parent because we have to make the decisions that are best for them. So she's there, and she's always present. They visit her. They communicate. If there are decisions about the children, we discuss.
So it's almost like the three of you will sit down and try and agree.
And sometimes, I won't lie to you, doesn't always work.
Right. Yes. I mean, it's already hard with
already
two people,
hard.
with mom and dad.
Exactly.
You can find yourself wanting to just dissect someone into pieces.
Yes, at the end of the day, it must be tough. All of us have to mature and remember it's about the children. It's not about us.
Yeah.
Okay, it's about the children. So we try. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There's a lot of sacrifice. There's a lot of, removing yourself from the situation and thinking what's best for this child.
I hear you. Yes. And what happens in situations where, they're different homes? You said that sometimes they'll go visit their mom. How do you figure out if this home has this set of rules? Say, for instance, you have a different curfew. How do you create an environment that's still cohesive and it's still unified?
Okay, so that is how it works. If you have like you're co-parenting very well, then it's easier to have the same rules. Right. But if it's not possible, what you do then, you'll just have to talk to the children and tell them, when you come to this home, these are the rules. When you go to that house, those are the rules. And this is our life, and this is how it is. Yeah. So we adjust. We adjust. We adjust. We all adjust. You see, there's no script. Yeah. I wish there was. No one knows how.
Life in general, it would have been easy.
No one tells you, when you divorce and when you're a stepmom or when this is what you do. No, we learn as we go along. Right. We make mistakes. They're like, okay, we correct them. Yeah. So that's how it works.
Okay. Yes. And what I really treasure the fact that you have been so honest about this, because obviously there's a lot of people who are in the same situation, but there's not much conversation. Yes. So whether you are a single lady and you happen to meet a man with children, or vice versa, or maybe the two of you have children, and you still have so many questions. And in fact, statistics show that about 16% of families now are in a blended family, right? 60% of children are growing up in that environment. So the fact that you're so open about it, I adore that. But wow, okay, 6 children. Now you are, have a solid, stable marriage for 10 years, a relationship for 10 years. How old are the kids, and what are the ranges?
Tito, who's our adopted son, is 23.
Okay.
Then my daughter Michelle is 20. And then Josiah, who's not around now, who's 19. Joshua, 18. Katusha, 17. Sean, 6. Then he just got another one the other day. Yeah.
Hey, you got that. Yeah, you got
17.
the dates. I can hardly even remember my own birthday.
Yes.
So kudos to you.
Yeah.
Was it easier to form relationships with, say, the younger children versus the old, or maybe even the girls and instead of the boys? Or how was it?
In the beginning, when the children were young, it was easier to form relationships with the boys and the girls.
The boys?
Yes. But
Okay.
when you get to teenagehood, it is easier for the girls and the boys.
Really?
Yes.
How is that so? Because I remember when I was a teenager, I feel like that's when my mom and I just were trying to figure our relationship out. So it's surprising that with you...
Yes, it is. Because you see, I'm sort of not... The age difference is not so big. The age gap is not so big.
Okay.
So I kind of relate to their world.
Yes.
More than their parents would, who are a bit older from
Right.
a different generation.
Okay.
Yes.
So the girls got easier.
Yeah.
And what about the ages? Was it easier for you to blend in with?
Yeah, when they are younger, it's actually much easier.
Okay.
Obviously, when they're younger, it's easier. Adjusting is this fast. Yes.
And what did they call you at the beginning?
Oh, at the beginning, when we're just getting introduced to Auntie Kathy,
Okay.
when they figured I was here to stay, was Kathy. Sometimes there was no reference to the name.
Okay.
But as years went by, we just agreed, you know what? I let them be free.
Yeah.
You know? There's no pressure. Call me whatever works for you. So it was Auntie Kathy for the longest time. And then one day it was Mommy.
Oh,
Yeah. And
Yeah.
here we are. So we have Mommy 1
Okay.
and Mommy 2.
Right. And I love that term. I love that term, that you've got a bonus mom.
Yes.
And how did that feel for you, being called mom or mommy?
By the time it had happened, I already dealt with it. I got over the issue. So I was already their mommy. I live with them. I do whatever a mom does. All the responsibilities. I was like, you know what? Wow.
Yeah.
Finally acceptance.
Yeah. But exactly that moment, that's what I want to understand, you know, because like you're saying, it took. You were there. You're cleaning up. You're dressing up. You're You're trying to make sure that there's order in the home.
Yes.
And so for them to finally embrace that and say, "Mom,"
you
that
have to
must
earn
have
it.
felt. Yeah, you have to earn it.
You have to earn it.
But that must have felt very validating.
It did.
Oh,
It did.
beautiful.
Yes.
Now, what about the disciplining?
Of the discipline.
Yeah, who does that? Did you feel the need to jump in ever, or did you step back and let your husband take over?
In the beginning,
Yeah.
it had to be him.
Okay.
But now it's me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So that's me.
Mommy Kathy has
Yes,
spoken.
yes. So that's me. In the beginning, it had to be the dad. You know.
Yeah.
It had to be the dad, because then, if it came from me, it would come from a good place. They'd feel I'm victimizing them because I'm not their mom, or you know, why you come and tell us, why you come and change the rules. This is what we're used to, you know. But now it's me. You know, he's the more softer one, and I'm the disciplinarian. So
Yeah. I feel a lot of homes that's the case. At least in my home.
Yes.
My dad is the chill one,
Yes.
and my mom is the one who set the rules.
Yeah, so
You
now
break
I'm the
it,
disciplinarian.
and you're
Yes,
done for.
Yes, but you see, I had to earn their trust.
Yeah.
I had to earn their trust in a way that they know that I'm doing it coming from a good place. And you see, after getting my son, they actually see, wow, so there's no difference. So whatever, the same expectations I have on him, and
Yeah.
the same rules apply to him also.
Right, yeah.
Actually, I'm a bit more tough on him than them. But yeah.
Okay, and I like that your family unit is quite unique and dynamic.
Yes, it is.
Your husband came with 4 children. You have one.
We got one with
one
him.
biological child together, and you also said that you adopted a child.
Yes.
How do you create an environment that's equal and fair, that one child doesn't feel, you know, better off or favored compared to the others?
So that's a very big challenge in blended families.
Yeah.
Especially if it's completely blended, meaning that you come with your kids and the other person comes their own kids, so then it becomes a bit tricky. So what happens, you have to be very conscious and very aware. So I'll give you an example, like when I gave birth to my son, I had to be very conscious about it, because they're waiting to see, will things change, will he be loved more than us? So there was not a lot of babying. I was very careful, you know. When I gave birth to my son and I went for newborn baby clothes shopping, I got some for them too. Okay, because I have to try and find the balance,
right?
You know. And then when my son came over, my adopted son came over, I also have to be sensitive to the fact that, you know, he's there and he's watching and he's worried, will this family really accept me? Yeah, so I'm very conscious, very aware. It is always at the back of my mind.
Oh, that's beautiful, because ultimately that's what creates a strong unit, when there's just, when it's equal.
In my house, everyone is equal. My son has no idea.
Yeah.
He's still 6, he has no idea. He still hasn't gotten the grip of it. He doesn't get it. When you go like, oh, your sister is going to visit the mom, he's like, but mom is here. So he hasn't gotten the grip of it. Obviously, as he gets older, we'll explain, but he has no idea. He doesn't know the difference.
Right.
Yeah, if you ask him, do you want another sibling? He says, I have enough. I have enough brothers and sisters.
Would you have other children?
No, thank you.
No?
For now, no, thank you.
For now, 6 is already a lot.
Yeah, we can do 7 aside. We're good.
Yeah, actually, it's a team of a beautiful team of 8. Now, you touched on counseling. I'm a huge advocate for therapy, and I believe that it can change your life and change your world. What are some of the things the biggest lessons that you took from the therapy sessions?
I think the biggest thing was it helped us learn how to communicate, because that was our biggest issue in the beginning. Because everyone is going through their own, you know, divorce is like a loss, okay? They lost something.
Yeah,
okay?
No one wins.
No one wins.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're all going through their emotions. Then here is a new family being created. So before I'm even done dealing with these emotions, I'm being thrown to something else. So counseling helped us open up about our emotions and how we are feeling, and then helped us communicate better. So if I'd see someone or a child behaving in a certain way, I'd be like, oh, I get it where it's coming from. And then I was able to understand the children as individuals. Don't forget, they didn't come from my stomach. So I'm meeting them, and it's like meeting a new friend.
Yeah.
So I need to know who they are, their personality, their character, what do they like, what don't they like. They're also getting to know me. So counseling helped a lot to understand one another. Yes, it did. It helped. I can't exchange it for anything. Without it, we wouldn't have made it.
Yeah.
And even now, sometimes when issues are like, okay, we need someone in the middle.
Yeah,
so
real quick.
Yes, exactly. So that someone who removes themselves from the emotions and from the picture and is able to be sober enough to say, guys, okay,
this is the issue.
Yes.
Let's unpack.
Yes.
And then let's rebuild.
Exactly.
I'm a huge advocate for therapy. I think it helped. Everyone should visit a therapist at some point.
Yes.
Whether or not you're even going through co-parenting or whatever the case.
Yes.
It'll really enlighten you.
Exactly.
Now, when it comes to setting boundaries, how did that work with the mothers, the 2 mothers, and it's specifically the ex-wife? How do you make sure that your journeys as parents isn't being brought into your journeys as, you know, your relationship now, your relationship with your husband, and you separate the 2, the marriage, the children, the co-parenting? How do you separate? How do you create the boundaries?
That's the thing. It's a personal journey for everyone. So it depends on an individual. Okay, the ideal situation is all of us are mature enough to be able to understand that this didn't work out, and so this is a new family unit. We have to respect it, but we can't deny the fact that you're their mother, and you play a very big role in their lives. So the boundaries are there, but from the beginning, we have to agree to disagree on some things. Okay. There are those important things like where the kids will go to school, the kind of activities they do, what we want to teach them as a family. Fine. There's some things we just choose to agree to disagree and agree to respect one another. You know, I, as the stepmom, have to respect the mom, give her her right and her place. I'll give you an example. When my eldest daughter was graduating, and so we have to have one graduation ceremony.
Okay.
The school offers just one. Okay? So we can't have different.
Yeah.
So we all have to come for the sake of this child. We have to be cordial. We have to respect one another. So at the end of the day, the boundaries are maintained because of these children. So when you put the children first, the boundaries come automatically. Yes, because you know the children are looking, they're watching.
Yeah.
So you want them to learn that even sometimes when things don't work out, you know how to handle conflict.
Yeah.
This is how you, because even in their relationship, leave alone marriage, in their relationship as friends, sometimes it doesn't work out. You have to figure out how to handle conflict, how to be cordial towards one another. Yeah.
Right.
So that's how we do it.
Okay.
Yes, like I keep on saying, it's not as rosy as it looks, but yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean, I don't even think that the stable, you know, the marriages that have lasted for 30 years are as rosy as it looks. I think there's the ups and the downs, and you find your way through that.
Yes.
How was it dating
an older guy,
man with children? How different was it from, say, the other relationships you had?
First of all, you have to understand he has responsibilities. So he's a father. He has to provide. So he doesn't have as much time on his hands, you know, as a single person who's maybe my age when I met him at 22.
Right.
You see, so you have to understand that that is what he comes with.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to work around his schedule. You know, we have to remember at the end of the day he has to go home and make sure to tuck the kids in bed. You know, he has to go for school functions. So you have to keep yourself busy. You just have to understand that in terms of budgeting, in terms of money, you also have to understand that, you know, we have bills to pay. We have things sorted out fast before we have priorities. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so you mature very fast.
Exactly.
From 0 to 100.
I can tell.
Yes.
I can tell. So tell me, how do you still maintain the romance despite the fact that you now have 6 children in your family? How do you carve out time for you and your hubby?
To be honest, it has to be a conscious effort, okay? Because it can actually be a very hard thing to do, you know, because you can imagine the age gap between our children, so the demands are different.
Yeah.
So I have teenagers, I have preteens, I have a little one, so it's a bit too intense. So we try to have date night. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
So it's just that conscious effort we keep saying. Sometimes, like, I like working out. We'll be like, let's go for a walk twice a week.
Yeah.
We get a trainer, we train together.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just be maybe around his office. I'll be like, let's have coffee. So it has to be like that. We don't have like a set, because if you do it that way, then it won't happen. It will never happen, you know.
Yeah.
Because things happen, you know, with 6, 7 children. Yeah.
There's a lot that's taking place, and you just need to be able to.
So that conscious effort, and also being friends. We are friends, so sometimes even just a drive together is good enough. Sometimes you'll be like, you know what, I miss my fries. You know, let's go have some fries, and those 30-15 minutes is good enough.
Right.
Yes, and just pray that soon the kids will be heading out and
Bye, aka picked up. Let us have our own space now.
Yes.
And are there specific activities or things that you do that bring the whole family together? Where you're just like, foot down, no, cancel that date, you come here, we're doing this.
So we have dinner twice a week at home.
Okay.
Yeah, so I love cooking and experimenting. So what I do in the world of today, I send everyone a message.
Yes.
And I'll be like, tomorrow at 8 o'clock, please be home and be at the dinner table. Like last weekend, I was like, it's at night, I'm in bed, I'm sending a message. Tomorrow we're having breakfast together at 9 a.m. Please be at the table. That's how it works.
Nice.
So we also love going out a lot. On holiday, like during summer, everyone is back from school. So actually summer is the best. You know, we hang out together. Otherwise, people have gone to school, some out of the country, you know.
Living their lives.
Yes, living their lives, you know. I think about me when I was their age, you know.
It's not the most fun thing, sitting for dinner on a Friday night with your parents.
We watch movies at home. And the little one helps to bring us together. Yes.
Oh, bless.
Yes,
the children are really a blessing.
They are. He was.
It really helps bring you and unite the family.
He did.
Now, going back to the beginning, are there certain lessons that stand out the most for you that you could share with people who are watching who are in the same situation?
Oh, many. First of all, I'd want to say that why did I start talking about it? It's because I had to figure it out for myself. Then I said, I don't want someone to do this alone. So first of all is accept the situation. Find someone who you can relate with, who's walked in your shoes.
Where did you find that person?
I didn't.
Okay.
I figured it out.
Okay.
Yeah. And can imagine my time, there was no internet. There's no Googling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just my personality, you know.
Okay.
I'm just a fighter, you know.
You've got the grit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, you know, we had very good intentions. We were friends. And so we were like, we have to make this one. So I'd say be open about it.
Okay.
Look for people who have your best interest at heart. Let them be able to understand your setup, and so that they're able to have a snippet of the dynamic, so that when you're talking to them, they realize, oh, because it's not like it's a family, but not like a normal family.
Yeah.
Seek help, counseling. Number 4, I tell any step parent, don't take it personally. It's not an attack on you as a person. No, it's not. Number 5, I'd say let's be mature about it. You know, let's put the children first, please.
Yeah.
Let's put the children first, always. And number 6, I'd say, you know what? Love wins all the time. And I think there's enough love for all of us. Don't make the children pick sides. You know, don't have those loyalty binds and those loyalty, don't guilt trip them, because at the end of the day, they benefit from all of you.
Yeah.
From a bonus mom, from a bonus dad. That's the same way they benefit from relationship with their aunties, their uncle, their friends. So when you as a family are okay about it, then they'll be okay about it.
And you know, even when they don't hear it, they feel it.
They feel it, and
if there's that animosity,
yes,
it's transmitted
to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you need to just learn to put them first, really.
Oh, you have children first.
First.
The rest of you figure it out.
I really love that you took the time to create a blog where you share your journey.
Yes.
Because you were honest and you shared that it was difficult for you to find an example of what a good, happy, strong, blended family looks like.
I don't know one.
Yeah, and so now your blog acts as that resource.
Yes.
How do you know what to share and what not to share?
To be honest, so far, I've just been sharing my journey. But you know, many people, and this is a thing with this blended family, the setup, there's a lot of stigma around it. So people will ask questions, but they don't want anyone to to know they're asking them. So what happens, like when people read the blog and my audience reads the blog, they'll be like, Kathy, I have this issue, but I don't want this one to know, or I don't want people at the office to know that I'm in a blended family.
Yeah.
So I tend to get topics from there, you know, what people are struggling with. So I address it, but I still try to address it and put a bit of fun in it, a bit of, you know, don't make it too serious.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Because at the end of the day, you know what? It's nothing new.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been done before, it will
It's
happen.
done, it will happen, it's still happening.
I noticed that on your Instagram that you don't tag your children.
Yes, I don't.
Why?
Although they love all my pictures.
No, I love your pictures
and,
too.
And if you go to their pages and everywhere, although they tag me, it's because I want it, it's my story.
Okay.
And I say it from my perspective.
Yes.
So I want them to be able to say it from their perspective.
How did you come to that place? Was it a conversation you had with them?
Oh yeah, okay. Most of the times they're like, Mom, you're easy. But the teenagers, they're still finding themselves. So I want them, the day they're ready to say their truth. Other people their age who are going through it, ask them like, how do you do it? How do you want to be a stepmom? I'm having a very hard time with mine. What can we do? You know, yeah.
Has any of the, say, photos that you shared, or maybe stories that you've told on your blog, have you gotten any? Has it led to any kind of tension, say, between you and your children or your husband, or maybe even their mothers? Has it led to that?
So far, no, because I don't put the pictures of their mom.
Okay.
Because I feel like that is not, I'm crossing the boundary. Yes. But sometimes there'll be family photos and we are all together, and that's there. Because you also want to show people that, you know, we can co-parent, we can coexist.
Right.
You know, it doesn't have to be a war zone.
Yeah.
Every time.
It's difficult though.
Yes.
I mean, at the beginning.
It is.
But it
even
doesn't
now.
have to. Yeah.
It doesn't have to. You have to remember. You have to understand something. You just have to get into the program.
Get into the program.
Yes.
Get with the program.
Get
I
with the
hear you.
program, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and put the kids first.
And put the children first. And don't forget that the children, then there'll be grandkids, and they're all looking and watching. Yeah, don't you want to give them good memories?
Yeah.
Don't you want to show them that this is life, and sometimes it doesn't work out, but it's okay.
It's okay.
And it's fine.
Yeah.
And there's enough love to go around.
Oh, bless.
You don't have to pick.
I love your story.
Thank
I
you.
love how dynamic it is.
Oh, yeah.
And I love how open you are too
Yes,
in
yes.
sharing the ups and the downs, the good and the
yeah.
bad.
Oh, yeah.
Are there any final thoughts or pieces of advice?
I'd like to give.
Yeah.
I'd say that anyone who's a single mom, divorced, maybe going to a new relationship from one before.
Or single dads, I
Or
guess.
single dad,
Yeah.
yes. Just remember that it can be done, you know. And it is for the tough. So you know what? Grow some tough skin, some thick skin. But just know it can be done.
Yeah.
It can be done. And like I keep on saying, there is enough love for all of us. And you need to know that already, even you don't need your children to validate you. You're already enough.
You're enough.
So you don't own your children. We
Yeah.
just bring them to the world, we raise them and release them to the world.
Ah.
And we do the best we can and give them the best environment we can. And as parents,
Right.
we also make mistakes. You don't have it figured out.
But you learn as you go, isn't that
Exactly.
right?
And
Yeah.
that's life.
You learn as you go.
And you're teaching them and they're watching you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you put your children
Oh,
first.
first.
All the time.
All the time, always.
Thank you, Kathy.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being our very first guest.
Thank you.
For sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
And thank you for being one fashionable stepmom. Make sure to follow Fashionable Stepmom on Instagram, Cathrein Karaoke. She also has a blog where she shares her thoughts on blended families and her journey. So if you're looking into this topic, if you want to know more, maybe it's what your reality is now, then make sure to head over there. And also, make sure you're following us on social media. We're on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. If you have thoughts on today's topic, maybe questions, if you want to know about Kathy's outfit, which I will be asking you about, and I will get all the details, and I'll
Yes.
put it on Insta stories.
Feel free.
So we did tell you we're going to give away some gifts to you guys, and we randomly selected them online. So here you are. Thank you so much for the comments and the likes and the follows. We've been watching you, so keep doing that. You never know, you could be our winner for tomorrow. And actually, speaking about tomorrow, we're talking about money, one of my favorite topics. And we're talking about how we stretch it through the month so that at the end of the month, there's no story like, "Ay, it's tough." No, we're not doing that. We've done that way too many times. We're grown people. Things have to change. That's the topic for tomorrow. But for now, thank you so much for watching Living with S. I'm your host, Sharon Mundia. I'm now just going to go back to smiling like a goon because I'm just so excited that we're here and that we've got so many great shows lined up for you. We will see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. sharp, okay? Bye.